dummies though. Just like dumb guys, dumb big guys, you know? Real dummies. I dated a guy one time, and this is so true, who thought almond and oat milk came from cows who only ate almonds and oats. Yeah, it's true, there are dumb ones out there. But the apps are bad. I had a guy message me, his opening line was, "Hey, I used to live next to Snoop Dogg." He was 23 years old. Your parents lived next to Snoop Dogg. You never did, please. I had another guy who messaged me his opening line. He responded to a picture of me on stage and he said, "TED Talk or comedian?" Oh. And I said, "Comedian, I do stand-up comedy." And he said, "Oh, so you think you're funny?" Yeah! Dummy, right? Dummy. It does run in the family though. My sister is also dating a dummy. My sister's dating a dummy. They were sitting down one night to watch a movie, and he said, "Let's watch the movie that makes fun of the Holocaust." And she said, "I'm sorry, what? What is that?" And he said, "You know the movie by that director, Caitiemac?" And she said, "Do you mean Inglourious Bastards by Quentin Tarantino?" He thought Quentin Tarantino's name was Caitiemac. First name Talsma, last name Quinca. That's about as dumb as you get, you know? You don't get dumber than that. I did think, I was like, I'm gonna curb this dumb guy dating thing. And I was like, I'm gonna date an old guy, you know? I was like, I'm gonna find an old guy. So I dated this really old guy who's 33. And he was very old. I'm a spry 27, you know? Yeah, thank you for the snaps. And we went on a date, and right before dinner came, he goes, "Just so you know, I have King's disease." And I was like, "I don't know that. I'll be your queen." You know? We can get through this together. I looked it up later. King's disease is gout, which is pretty much the oldest person disease you can have, besides cataracts, which he also had. So, old guy, all right? Old guy. I did try and date my age, which was smart, I think. You know, I went for it. We went on a date, it was nice, and we went back to my car, and we were hanging out, and I was like, I gave him a low-effort hand job, okay? And I say low effort because we're not putting our heart and soul into a hand job, ladies. Am I right? I think we all stand together in that one. It was interesting, and right before, you know, the big finish, he kind of swatted me away and pulled up his pants, and then came in his pants. And at the time, I was like, he is the sweetest guy in the entire world. We were in my car. He didn't want to make a mess. He's a keeper. But then 45 minutes passed, and I was like, what is going on in those undies? It cannot be good. And then after that, he was a musician, because they always are, and he said, "I have my guitar in my car, can I play you a song?" And I was like, sure, let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens, you know? So he squished over to his car, and then squished back. He sat down, he played me Drops of Jupiter not once, but twice. Because the first time, his voice wasn't warmed up. I'm sure you guys can understand. The second time did sound better, I'll admit. It did. And I will be honest, I think I'm gonna see him again. 2 hours, wet pants, I don't care, you know, that's the worst thing, I don't care.